Hi guys, welcome to this video. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you three Facebook ads targeting that I use, and they are giving me results for myself and for my clients. Now, there are several other types of targeting, right, that we use when we do Facebook ads or Instagram ads. But these three I'm going to show you are the ones that I can guarantee you will give you results. Now, I have an ad running currently for a client. She's selling a 20k training, right? The product is a 20k training for her business, and so far she has done 360,000 naira. Okay, now let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Now, this is the campaign. It's a sales campaign, right? This campaign, it's a sales campaign. So far, we've had 32 messages. We've had 32 messages, but we have converted 16 people, right? 16 people have made payment for the training. It's a cake training. And the training is pegged at 20,000 naira. So 16 people have made payment. So if you calculate it, 20,000 times 16 is 360,000, if I'm not mistaken, right? 360,000. Let me calculate that to be sure. Yes, 360,000 naira. So she has done 360,000, and how much have she spent? How much have she spent? Just 20,000. But she has done 360,000. So in the last 7 days, September 15th, let me refresh it so you don't think, oh, it's an image, or you don't think it's one of those things people do to impress people on here. So you see that this is real and it's working. So this is a campaign, 32 messages, 16 conversions, um 16 conversions. We've spent 20,000 around the ads, and we've made 340,000 naira profit. We made 340,000 naira profit. So you see, still the same figures. Now you need to understand that sales messaging campaign is more expensive than engagement messaging campaign. I will explain that when I get to this point, or maybe in a different video, I will explain why. But let me just tell you now, sales campaign, messaging campaign gives you or sends to you leads that have higher chances of buying than when you use the engagement campaign to generate leads to your WhatsApp. Hope you understand that. I will not dwell much on that. So now let's go straight into it. So I said I was going to be showing you three types of targeting that I use to get results. And one of those targeting is the one I use for that ad I just showed you now. Right. So when I get to that part of the ad, I'm going to go into the ad, open it up and show you so you understand what I'm saying. Now, the first, let us not waste much time. Let's go right into the video. So the first type of targeting I'm going to be showing you is the no interest targeting. Now, in this type of targeting, you are only required to target using these parameters, right? Location, age, and gender. You don't need to do much. Now, let's go right into the ads manager. Let me open the ads manager somewhere else. Let me open now. Okay, good. So now in this campaign now that I showed you is a sales campaign, and I'm using a zero targeting here. I'm using zero targeting here. I'm not targeting anything. You target using just location, age, and gender. That's what exactly I did here. That's exactly what I did here. So let me show you. You see here, this is my locations, right? I picked specific locations in Nigeria. I didn't target the whole of Nigeria. I picked specific locations in Nigeria, and my audience, my age, I just picked 24 to 40 years, and gender was just women, right? Because it's a cake dessert training. So it's mostly women that are interested in this than men. So I just focused on only men. Now you see here in my detailed targeting, I don't want to click on this so that it doesn't open it, because if I click on it now, open it, it's going to be like I'm working on the ad. So I don't want to do that. So, and I will not need to republish again. So I don't want to do that. So let me just show you. Now here for this detailed targeting, you can see there are no um targeting interest here. There is no interest here. It's just um age, gender, and location. That's all that is here. So that is the number one type of targeting. No interest. You just target with your location, you target with age, you target with gender. Now you run your ad and let Facebook do the work for you. They do the heavy lifting for you. Now understand this. When you run this type of ad, your first 1, 2, or 3 days might not yield you good results, because within this first 72 hours, Facebook is still trying to gather data and bring the right people who will be interested in what you sell. Now, we started getting results on the second day. On the first day, the people that were coming in were not so cool, right? But they were engaging, but they were not really the kind of leads we wanted. They didn't convert on the first day. It was the leads that now started coming in the second day that payments now started coming in. And now this 360,000 is in 7 days. So the first day there was no sales at all. It was from the second day we started recording sales. So that's what I have to let you know. The result differs for different businesses. The first, second, third day, you might not get anything reasonable. But from the second, some people might get from the third, some are from the second, just like me, and then some will come in from the third day or the fourth day. So you just have to be patient when you run this. So when you run your ads, so stay patient. You understand? So let's go right into number two. Number two, which is single interest based targeting. Now, okay, let me leave here. Let me leave this ad now. Let me create a new one. Let me create a new one so I can explain better for you. So I can explain better. Now let's click on create. Let's go. Let's just use say engagement for example. Now we're just running a dummy. Let me explain the ads to you. To the ad set. Now the targeting, right? So now in this number two, single interest based targeting. Here you are required to use just one interest when you're doing your targeting. Here in this single interest based targeting, there are two types of targeting. There are two types of single interest based targeting. The number one, you just use one interest only. For example, where's my targeting now? For example, now let's say I want to run the cake training. I want to run ads for that cake training again, the dessert training, and I put in my age, say 24 to 40. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section and I would respond to them. And also, if you want to work with me or you want me to work for you, handle the ads for your business, please reach out and we will speak further. Now, genders, I pick my location, my gender, which is women. Now, in the demographics, now let's say it's a cake training I'm running, right? I want to run ads for a cake training. I can just pick, say, bakers, for example. Bakers, bakers, right? I can just pick bakers and just leave it at there and just leave it. This will be the only interest I'm going to put in, continue with my other setups, and publish my ad. Do you understand? Single interest, just one, nothing else. I'm not going to add any other thing. I'm not going to put in any other interest, just that one. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to make your audience laser targeted. Laser targeted. right? It's going to give you laser targeted audience. And as you can see, the estimated size of this audience is 40,000 to 47,500. You see that? So I don't use this except my audience is very large, or except I'm trying to sell a broad, specific kind of product. You get a product where it has to be men and women involved in it. Let me show you what I mean. Let's select the genders to be both men and women, right? Let's select the genders to be both men and women. So now when you select both men and women, you would get more interest. As you can see, it increased from 40,000 to 46,000 to 54,000. So except I'm selling a more generic product, maybe a healthcare product, or real estate, for example, or any other product that is a little bit more generic, right? That is when I like using single interest based target, or the product is specific for a demographic. Don't worry, in a different video, I'm going to go more into details. I don't want this video to be too long. So that is that about single interest targeting. Now, the second one is you use one single interest in each targeting categories. Now, there are different categories when it comes to targeting. There is a demographic, there is behavior, there is interest. For example, what are demographics, right? Your demographic is like a okay, let me show you what I mean. As you can see now, look here. Let me remove this. Look here, right? You can see add demographics, interest, and behaviors. This is the three segments or categories of your ad, of your interest, right? These categories are the type, every interest inside here falls into one of these categories. Falls into one of these categories. Do you understand? They fall into one of these categories. So if you don't know what the demographics are in, so you use your, so this is how you can do this. You can, if you don't know what they are, you can just click here. When you click on browse, you see demographics. You click on this, it now show you. This is how for each, for example, now um secondary school students is a demographic. University students, undergraduates, they are a demographic. People working as bankers, that's the demographics. People working as bakers, chefs, that's the demographics, right? So people earning within a specific range, that's the demographics, right? So demographics are different. Parents, people who have toddlers, parents who are nursing mothers, these are demographics. People who are married, relationship, married, unmarried, in a relationship, people that are engaged, these are all demographics, right? So you can pick one. Let's say, for example, now I want to sell the cake stuff, for example, like I told you, like the example I've been using. I can just say for demographics now, let me target people who are in relationship or who are about to get wedded, engaged, for example. I can pick engaged. I can pick for demographics now, just pick only one. Engaged. Remember, we're picking only one. I'll pick engaged. So now for interest, I can just pick one. Let's say let's go to hobbies and see. No, let's leave hobbies. Let's go to business. Let's go to business. So for demographics, if okay, for business, I'm not seeing business here. I'm not seeing any. Let's go to hobbies. You can pick in, say, cakes. People that like cakes, right? Cakes. You can pick this or this, right? If, for example, I want to run a wedding cake ad now, I'm going to go for wedding cake. That will be right for interest. Then now we go to behaviors. Behaviors, how people behave online. You understand? Now, if I want to pick for behaviors, I will go for engaged shoppers, people who have made payment or have bought something on Facebook within the last 30 days. Engaged shoppers. Let me show you. Engaged shoppers. Look at them here. So if you look at the right side, the description on this side, he said, description, people who have clicked on the call to action button, shop now, in the past week, in the past 7 days, in the past 10, in the past 30 days. These are people. Facebook collects this data, right? So you can click on it. I like using this interest. So now you now have for behaviors, you now have for demographics, you now have for interest, right? You now have for behaviors, you now have for demographics, you now have for interest. So you now have the three single interest targeting on each of these categories. Then you run your ad. Do you understand? So let us go right into number three. The video is getting pretty long. So let's go into number three. This is stacked interest based targeting. Now, this is in this one, you stack up interest. You can decide to use several interests in each targeting categories, like I showed you in the previous one. Now, instead of just using one one interest in each of these categories, you can now stack up more. You can do three, four, five for each interest, for each category. Sorry, instead of one, you have four here. Instead of one, you have four here. Instead of one, you have four here. Or you can decide you just want to target demographics alone. You can do just demographics targeting and stack up your interest there. You can do up to 10, up to 15, as much as you want, but it should not be too excessive, right? You can decide to do, okay, you want to just target just behaviors, you want to target just demographics, you want to target just interest. You can decide, okay, you want to do each of these categories, four interest each, or five interest each, or three interest each, right? So this is how you run targeting ads, or this is how you do your targeting when you run Facebook ads, so you can get results. It is not just only about doing random things. The whole thing is not just about coming on here and setting up your ads. You need to know how to set up your targeting the proper and the right way, so that you can get results for yourself and for your clients. But you need to understand something. For the first 2 to 3 days, allow Facebook do their thing. Even when you do your interest targeting and the rest of all that, sales and results might not start coming in immediately. Be patient. Allow the ad to run. Allow the algorithm to pull your audience properly, and then within the next 72 to 48 yes, to 120 hours, you will start seeing results. Just be patient. Do you understand? At the beginning of your ad, spend small. Let your budget be small. Let your budget not be too, even if you're a big spender, yes, because I really meant big spenders. Even if you're a big spender, start small, so that within the first 3 days, you'll see, for example, if you have a budget of 1 million, for example, you can say, okay, you want to spend 100K in 3 days. You're not spending above 100K. So that's to see the results the ad will give you and all that. Or you can decide you want to spend 70K, or you decide you want to spend 60K, 20,000 for 3 days. Then after 3 days, you're now able to, from the data you've gathered so far, you'll now be able to you'll now be able to now make decisions based on the data you've gathered within that 3 days. Do you understand? So that is how you run targeted ads. So let us go through the types of targeting. No interest targeting, which I showed you is the one I'm running for my client, and so far she has done 360,000 in 7 days, selling a 20K offer to 16 people. Out of 32 messages, 16 has converted. You understand? And these other ones that are still remaining will be converted over time. They might not buy immediately, right? But over time, as we begin to continue, or as we continue sending them messages, they would buy over time. You understand? So, no interest targeting, single based interest targeting, where you use just one interest in the targeting, or you use one interest in each of the targeting categories, which is the demographics, the interest based, the interest, and then the what's it called? And then the behaviors, right? The you use one interest each, And then we have the on the second side in single interest based targeting, where yes, you just do one interest or you do one interest in each of the categories. Then we have number three, which is a stacked interest, where you stack up your interest in each of these categories. Instead of one interest here, you can have three. And then here, instead of one, you have three. Here, instead of one, you have three. So each of these behaviors is they are stacked up, right? They are stacked up. I would have showed you layered targeting also, but I don't want to go into that now. That's going to be in a different video because the video is already long. I will, in another video, a separate video, I'm going to be teaching you layered targeting. Let me not go into that right now. So I hope you've got value here. If you want to work with me, if you want to learn in detail how to run Facebook ads that bring and generate results for you, do send me a DM. My Facebook ad course is just 20,000 naira. Imagine as a business owner, you bought my course for 20,000 naira and you use it to run ads and it brings you thousands and thousands of naira to your business. I mean, that's a steal for you. That would be like your best investment. So, if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, see you in another video. Do subscribe, do like, and do comment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section and I'll reply. So see you in my next video. Do enjoy the rest of your day.